Hey, what's up, everybody? JD back at it here, 701 Nation. I'm just going cold. I don't know if I'm going to all the spots that I got my live stream going to. I'm gonna check. Yeah, it looks like I'm live on Facebook. Sweet, sweet. Live on Facebook. Let me just check a few things here, and I'll let you know what the rundown's gonna be. Let's see. Yeah, live on YouTube, and I'm live on Rumble as well. But Rumble, like if you're new to this, Rumble, you can't. If you're watching on Rumble, you're not going to be able to comment. I can see your comments on here. I will. I got the chat on, so feel free to chat and everything. Um, but YouTube and Facebook, I can definitely read your comments on there. Just checking out here my account on. Rumble. Yeah, I'm live on Rumble too. X, I'm not live on X. You got to upgrade to premium. And I just started doing this again, so we'll see. As far as sponsor breaks and all that, I'm still working on some stuff. I'm trying to run this, and I'll have some stuff up later. Good afternoon, Brian, my fellow MVE. How you doing, brother? Appreciate you tuning in. How those preliminaries going there for the UFC? Anyways, I might think after doing the show and later tonight, I might be going to B Dubs and seeing watch the Scouser and Gaethje get after it, man. Should be good. So coming up, tell you what we got coming up on the show. Jelly Roll, right? Our boy Jelly Roll. I like Jelly Roll. He's got some good shit. Wants his 2A rights back. If you didn't know it, Jelly Roll's a felon. Doesn't have any Second Amendment rights. And after that, Second Amendment rights in Virginia. If you don't know Virginia, Democrats took the House, the Senate. Spanberger's our governor, and they're going hardcore after your Second Amendment rights, which, hey, we'll talk a little bit about that and kind of tie that in with what's going on in Minneapolis with the leftist mindset now. And after that, JD, me versus AI, top 5, 223 rounds right now. Oh, that's going to be easy, JD, uneducated knuckle dragging gun nut like you versus AI. Well, it should be, but I do have an advantage on AI, and that is I have real world experience. And after that, we're going to have, we had the happy ending before, and I was with Guns in the 701, and then they still have the happy ending chronicle. So I'm going to have the happy ending hootenanny. If you know what a hootenanny is, you're going to find look it up. And then, yeah, I know a lot of people are itching. We are going to talk a little Minneapolis, the self-defense shooting by the ICE agent there. Well, do you have all the facts? I don't, but I mean, the left's history of claiming they're on the right side of something, pretty low percentage. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about that. And as far as me doing, I know you can see it on the thing down there. Podcast. I don't have everything set up for my podcast yet. I got to do the embedded stream stuff and that. And why does it go into JD Smith on Facebook? Is for whatever reason, Facebook is not letting me create another page. So what I'm going to have to do apparently is just create a completely different thing with my other email, my personal page, and I'll probably send everybody, and I'll turn this one if I end up keeping to do this, and make 701 Nations Facebook page. Brian, all right, Brian, let's see here. My buddy Brian Warner. Remember, this is the first UFC on Paramount. That's right. Okay. Paramount. Oh, shit. Hey, maybe I can watch it at home. Hey, Eric Glauser, what's up, brother? Thanks for jumping on here. Brian Warner says one step above a hoedown. And it is going to be a hootenanny when I read this one, Brian. I can tell you that it's going to be a good one. So let's all right, see, we got a few more people. Let me just run down. We're going to talk about it again here. And I'm going to try and keep this at an hour and 15. You said that before, and it goes longer. Well, if it does, it does. Jelly Roll wants his 2A rights back. Virginia, they lost the House and Senate. Governors are a Democrat, and guess what they're going to be talking about? Putting their boot heel on your Second Amendment civil rights. And then it's me versus AI on the top 5 all around 223 rounds. Like I said, a lot of people, probably most of them, it's going to be easy. Hey, I can beat your dumbass. And then a happy ending hootenanny, and then we're going to talk about the Minneapolis thing. I know a lot of people. I've been on social media today, and man, it is. We're going to talk about that at the end of the show. Let's talk about our boy Jelly Roll here a little bit. Like Jelly Roll, my favorite Jelly Roll song, probably Dead Man Walking. Like Jelly Roll, seems like a pretty good dude. But in his younger years, like a lot of us, right, did some bad shit, understandably so. And, people are a little wilder when they're younger. So Jelly, his real name, Jason DeFord, obviously. Hey, Dan, how's it going, buddy? Thanks for getting on here. Appreciate that. Dan there from Dan Hager TV. Check him out on YouTube. I think he was on. Yeah, he was. I know he was on with Blackbeard Logic last night. So, anyways, Jelly Roll's real name, Jason DeFord, Grammy nominated. Heck, yeah, but he has a history of felony convictions related to aggravated robbery and drug charges. That was back from 2002 to 2008. If you haven't seen the guy, he was like 500 and some pounds. Dude's down to like 260. He was on Rogan's podcast, and he said he wants to get lighter than that. I don't think that's a good idea for him. He looks good at two. Don't get any smaller than that, dude. You're a big guy. You're gonna look odd if you get any smaller than that. Anyway, these convictions stripped him of certain civil rights, including firearm ownership under federal law, despite completing his sentences and probation. Right. And if you've heard me before on Guns in the 701, Clay and I talk about this, and I think I talked about it on Todd Mitchell's show. I think if you did your time and they let you out, you should be able to own, you should be able to get your gun rights back, right? Why would they let you out if you're so dangerous that you can't own a gun? Why the hell would they let you out? Because you can kill somebody with a lot of shit other than a gun, right? So what's the big deal? Get your gun rights back. You should get all your rights back and you served your time. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee, actually, he pardoned Jelly Roll December 18th, but a state pardon doesn't get rid of the federal one, right? But it acknowledged his redemption journey and, his public advocacy. And I mean, Jelly Roll's doing a lot of good stuff, man. And I know he goes, if you like wrestling too, which I don't watch him much anymore, but I do know he gets on the wrestling thing, which is cool. I mean, Trump did it. All these guys did it. Yeah, Trump. The pardon, like I said, symbolizes forgiveness and may restore some of his rights, like voting, right? You can get your voting rights back, but not your gun rights. You can't have your gun rights back, right? But especially if you got this violent felony conviction. And what they did, him and some guys broke into a house. Some guys had some guns. Jelly Roll didn't, which I'm not excusing him for doing that by any means, right? But he didn't have the gun, but he's still, when you're accomplice to a gun crime, a federal crime. So, he's feeling the pain of that right now. So he's came when he was on Rogan's show talking about wanting his rights back. God, my lips are dry here from this cold weather and window. He publicly advocated for the path to redemption, right? Like I said, he was doing this. He's been doing it, allowing reformed felons to regain Second Amendment rights. His case gained traction as the Trump administration. Oh, here we go. The guy who did the leftist saying in the TDS, Trump doesn't believe in freedoms. Path to allowing reformed felons to regain Second Amendment rights, right? When Trump got in here, Trump opened up the restoration program in 2025, which ended a 33-year freeze on being able to hear cases like felons getting their rights back and stuff. And it says since 1992, Congress blocked funding for the ATF to process these applications. And who knows, really, like the ATF, I don't know if the ATF would give anybody their rights back for all I know. But anyways, it's been blocked for that long. The DOJ's new rule bypasses these restrictions by delegating responsibilities to other components within the Justice Department, including the Office of the Pardon Attorney. Yeah, and this stems from Trump's February executive order directing a comprehensive review of firearm regulations to address perceived Second Amendment infringements. This is a Second Amendment infringement to me, so I would love to see this happen. And it wouldn't even be possible without Trump winning, without the anti-freedom. He's putting his boot heel on your freedoms without him being freaking elected president. So that's freaking awesome, man. And it's the new DOJ rule allows individuals to petition under, and Clay's mentioned this many times, Clay Peterson, Guns in the 7, under 18 USC 925C for relief from firearm disabilities, though violent felons face higher scrutiny, right? Which is what Jelly Roll is going to have to do, even though the governor pardoned him federally, his rights are not restored. Jelly Roll stated that His inability to legally own guns forces him to spend over $1 million annually on private security. Man, that's a freaking ton of million. I mean, what's $1 million of jelly roll? But still, $1 million freaking dollars. That's a lot of money. He's an avid hunter, now limited to bow hunting, real hunter, and seeks the right to use firearms for personal protection and outdoor activities. Absolutely, absolutely. Like I said that before, I think I'd rather get shot with a firearm than a freaking bow. If you get hit with a bow and a expandable mechanical, she's over, man. You're gonna bleed out. Um, Despite his celebrity status and advocacy, success depends on whether federal authorities consider his rehab and contributions under the quote extraordinary circumstances clause. Public opinion remains divided, with supporters citing his transformation and critics questioning gun rights restorations for those with violent felonies. Right, which, like I said, he wasn't a guy toting the gun and doing all that, so he was still part of it. Like I said, I'm not excusing that part of the whole deal with what he did, but hey, I think he seems like he's been keeping his nose clean. He's doing good. He's helping people out, doing a lot of good stuff for the communities. And hey, hopefully Jelly Roll gets his righteous sword, along with a bunch of other people too. I'm not just just because he's famous, he's the main what do you want to call it? He's the centerpiece of this whole thing. Maybe now, Mel Gibson got his rights restored. With some people were bitching about that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. Anybody does that when they're in their people, their friends or acquaintances with it. They're probably the first ones who get their stuff looked at. Okay, I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying that's freaking how it is, right? Anyway, speaking of your rights, let's head down to Virginia. We just had the election down there in November. Unfortunately, after 2 years of having a Republican governor, Governor Youngkin, he was a great governor down there, by the way. That guy's a great politician. This Abigail Spanberger acted like she was middle. God, just did the classic Democrat thing. Acted middle of the road. Common sense. And man, I can't. The former lieutenant governor there, I can't think of her name offhand. I will. Ran against her, former Marine, but the Spanberger and won. I think it was fairly easily, actually, and not because she was that much better, but she did bullshit people. But the Republicans never showed up to frickin' vote again. I mean, you guys are gonna bitch about it in Virginia when this shit passes, which we're gonna talk about, and you're gonna bitch about it, and you get your freaking friends to show up and vote. Trump's not on the ballot. I don't have to. He's in there. Everything's good. No, it's not. You can't. You got to get out and vote, which Trump is going to be doing. He's said he's starting next week, I think, in Iowa, man. He's going to campaign like he's running for president again, helping people, which is good. We need to freaking do that because people sit on their freaking hands, And then, anyway, let's get down to Virginia. We can talk some more Trump later. Love talking that. Democrats, like I said, now control Virginia's General Assembly and governorship. Abigail Spanberger took office as governor in January 2026. The trifecta has enabled sweeping legislative agenda, including significant gun control measures that directly impact Second Amendment rights for Virginians. Number one, here we go with this crap, right? As Dan got here, it's not an excuse of what he did. It's a recognition that he did the time required. Right. That was Brian talking about Jelly Roll, right? And Dan says, Dan Hager TV, I hope they get the election fraud under control. Me too, Dan. I don't know that we're ever going to get all of it, especially in these blue states. But I mean, obviously we did something for it. I know we too big a vote to beat the rig or whatever it was called when Trump went. But yeah, I mean, voting is still a big problem. They are working on some of it right now, but we got Republicans putting knives in Trump's back, and the majority is razor thin. Anyways, here we go. Number one here, the absolute wet dream of Democrats all the time, including right next door to us here in Minnesota. Assault weapons and magazine bans are among the top priorities. Bill HB 217 seeking to ban semi-auto firearms such as the dreaded AR-15 and magazines holding over 10 rounds. Right, and those of you who've watched me for a while, 10 rounds, Parkland. That's what the piece of shit down in Parkland High School used, 10-round magazines. So, and that's the second biggest mass shooting in American history. Show at Virginia Tech, the guy used freaking 10-round magazines in a 9mm 22 handgun. So don't, New York went down to 7 rounds. They got beat in court on that. 10-round, the magazine capacity thing's horseshit. These measures previously failed under Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin's vetoes, but now have a clear path to becoming law. They're gonna become law. They're gonna be. Trust me. They're gonna get this sucker. If they don't, I am going to be shocked. Because the leftists are frothing at the mouth, man. They can't take it. Number 2, here we go. We just got rid of the big beautiful bill. Thank God President Trump won. The Republicans got it through a House and the Senate with some. We had some help from some Democrats. They took the tax stamp off of suppressors. My ears permanently ring. The suppressors are great. They're hearing preservation. Number of the positives for suppressors. I don't really see any negatives to them other than your gun's a little longer than you want it to be. But now you can buy short guns and put a can on. Anyways, $200 tax stamps off. But guess what they want to do in Virginia? $500. It was $200 federally. They want to put it to $500 on suppression, which is $150 higher than the former tax, right? Targeting civilian buyers while exempting law enforcement. Oh, wait a minute, man. You guys are all pissed off at law enforcement for doing their job in Minnesota, but in Virginia, now you want to exempt. Yeah. Democrats are such hypocrites, man. Gun rights groups like the Virginia Citizens Defense League, VCDL, and Gun Owners of America strongly oppose this, warning of burdens on lawful gun owners. It is a freaking burden. It's bullshit. It's a burden on your hearing. And those aren't the only two. I mean, pretty much I guarantee you, every pro-gun rights organization is opposed to this shit, not just in Virginia, but federally. And that's not it, man. We're not done with that. We're not done with that crap here yet. Other measures, restrictions on your ghost guns, right? The founders made their own freaking guns, right? A ghost gun, they would call them ghost guns, right? You can make your own gun, but they want to restrict those mandatory waiting periods for firearm purchases. It's 5 days. I read about it. 5 days. So, oh man, lucky we had that 5 days. He was going to do a mass shooting and he didn't because, he's real stable. Like that thought won't come in his freaking head again. You're going to do this shit no matter what. 5 days, a woman gets divorced or something, or their life is threatened, but they got to wait 5 days to get a gun, which in that amount of time frame, the ex-husband or the separate person can come and harm them or furthermore kill them. That doesn't happen, JD. Bullshit. I mean, that's been documented many times. That shit happens. So these waiting periods are a freaking joke. Safe storage laws. You keep your freaking guns locked. This case already went to the Supreme Court. DC versus Heller, and these son of a bitches push this bullshit again. So it's gonna have to go through freaking court again. God, this is so ridiculous how these leftists do this shit. Public carrying limits for rifles and shotguns. Who cares? What's the difference if you're carrying your rifle in public? I think Clay talked about this on Todd's show or Thursday night. I'm all for open carry. I'm not going to do it. I mean, maybe with a handgun, I'm not going to roll in to buy a coffee with my freaking AR or my hunting rifle strapped over my shoulder. But whatever. Who cares? Restrict what? People they hardly ever do this shit. I mean, it doesn't happen. What's the point? I don't get that. Why I get it, because they just anything they can do to chip away at gun stuff. There are also efforts to raise the minimum age to 21 for purchasing certain firearms and expanding gun-free zones to include hospitals and schools. Yeah, because nobody gets shot in freaking gun-free school zones, right? That's been proven over and over and over and over and over again and again. 21 for purchasing. I'm pretty sure most people listening, unless we got some freaking frothing at the mouth, rabid leftist. When you're 18, man, you can go die for your country. You can, but you got to be 21 now to buy a freaking certain firearms. What they mean is semi-automatic. That's what they're gonna say. Semi-automatic. Bullshit. I don't know what else to say about that one. It's freaking ridiculous. But with Democrat majorities in both legislative chambers, and I said this, and and support from executive leadership, the governor, these proposals are advancing rapidly. However, legal challenges are expected, yeah, especially in light of the Supreme Court rulings like Rifle and Pistol Association of New York versus Bruin, which says if there's no traditional gun control laws, you can't do them now, which all those I just read, there is no traditional gun control for that. Gun rights advocates are mobilizing for opposition, but the current political landscape favors regulatory expansion. Not only does it favor it, like I said, I would put money on it. That shit's going to happen. Unfortunately, unfortunately. All right, let me see. I missed any comments? Nope, we're still going here. All right, let me take a little refreshment here. Hey, like I said, I don't got any commercials to go, so we're running straight through. Maybe when my bladder gets too full, then we're going to end this. But all I got is this bevy right here. So let's go to the next top 5. If I keep doing this, I'm gonna keep doing this one. JD versus AI. Like I said, people watching. you versus AI, knuckle dragging, uneducated gun nut. Yeah, this AI is gonna freaking dominate you. Maybe. We'll find out. I am uneducated. I dropped out of college twice. I didn't attend very long. It wasn't my thing. So let's get after it here. What I did was went on asked AI what the top 5 223. Why was it 223? Because it's my favorite round. It's the most easily, by far and away, the most popular centerfire round bought by people in the United States. I think worldwide it's centerfire. I'm not talking rimfire. No, I think it's number 2 to the 7.62 by 3.9. So, but in America, easily, great dual cartridge. We're not going to go over that again. The top 5 223 rounds based on performance across varying applications. Here's what AI uses: practice, target shooting, self-defense, and hunting. All right. So what they got number 1 here, and I've shot all of these, so I can definitely give some insight on. I bet you AI's robot hasn't shot one damn round of these. Federal American Eagle 223 Remington 55 grain FMJ boat tail. So I'll read their little explanation, AI's little iRobot's explanation. This round is widely regarded as one of the best all-round options for AR-15 platforms due to its reliability, affordability, and consistent performance in both training and general use. It offers flat trajectory and good accuracy, making it ideal for recreational shooting and practice. All right, number 1 for all around, I'm going to tell you right now, Full Metal Jacket's not your best. I wouldn't around. That's not my top 5 at all. Full Metal Jacket, no expansion. All around for hunting and self-defense. Yeah, self-defense if you freaking keep pumping them through them. And hunting, I mean, I know people who shot deer and whatever, like a small game maybe, but a deer FMJ you shoot when that son of a bitch is going to run 600 yards. You might never find them again. That doesn't expand. It doesn't do enough damage. As far as the American Eagle, yeah, it is fairly. It's probably in my experience, probably the most accurate FMJ round. Matter of fact, if you watch the Iron Sight steel challenge we did last year on guns in the 701, I won that. That's what I was using. I was using the white box because at 100 yards I didn't shoot an inch because it's hard for me to see at 100 yards with irons. I'm freaking 54 years old, but at 50 yards I dropped them things in a freaking quarter group. So yeah, it's accurate. And if I got to use FMJs, I got them stacked deep, baby. Buy them cheap, stack them deep. That's my favorite FMJ round. Number 2, Winchester USA 55 grain. Yeah, these FMJ again, known for affordability, reliability. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Widespread availability. Yeah, this load is standard choice for general purpose practice and target shooting. It performs well on most AR-15s and is effective for gauging rifle reliability and accuracy. No, it is not. That round sucks. It might shoot good in some rounds, but my experience with the Winchester 55 grain FMJ, shit accuracy. Reliability for sure. Yeah, I'll say that, right? General purpose. Yeah, if you shoot and you got big targets and don't give a shit where you hit it, or steel, you're running. Yeah, it's good for that. I would go with that. I've shot that out of bolt guns too. It shoots like shit. The American Eagle, the one we previously mentioned, shoots pretty well out of most bolt guns I've shot. All right, pretty well. Let's just say at 100, you're going like, inch and a half. Probably about an inch is what I've did with most of them with my glass on. So yeah, it's but the Winchester, nah, I like Winchester 22s and some of their centerfire, but Winchester's 223 FMJ, it's shit ammo. I do like Winchester pistol ammo, but that's another story for another day. Let's go to number 3. There we go. Now you're going to start talking to me right here, AI. Hornady 223 Remington 55 grain VMAX. They say a top choice for varmint hunting and precision shooting. Yep, I would agree with that. In fact, I used it wasn't Hornadays, but in the last the Coyote Steel Challenge we just had last weekend, I did use a VMAX bullet, but it was out of Faiachi's. Great accuracy out of that and precision. Yeah, I mean it's fast too. This round features a polymer tip bullet that expands rapidly on impact, ensuring clean kills on small game and pests. Absolutely, I would even say a freaking deer would at reasonable distances inside of 200. You get it in the rib cage, that'll wreck stuff. That deer won't go very far. Its high velocity and flat trajectory make it suitable for long range target shooting as well. Yeah, and if you did watch the video at 300 yards, it did shoot higher than my drop reticles indicated in my scope, and I did hit it high, but it was right on the money. It's not a boat tail. It is a flat base. I think Hornady's 50 grain VMAX is a boat tail, but the 55's flat base. And realistically, 400-500 yards, 500 max, probably on a coyote with that, and then boat tail at that. It's not really gonna. I mean, it'll definitely help you. It'll shoot a little flatter, and the wind drift won't be as much. But if it was a boat tail, okay, let's go on. Next, we got 2 left here, and I have this bullet. In fact, I bought him from Dave at 1760 Sports. There, he's actually got a new show coming on Guns in the 701 called 701 Marksman. If you want to dig into like way into the meat on stuff like reloading and going 1000s off the lands and building guns, Dave's going to be your guy for that. On top of talking about like shooting sports here in North Dakota, I'm into that stuff too, but Dave's far more knowledgeable about stuff than him. Anyways, I bought these bullets from Dave and reloaded them. Axe and I tried them out on a range test. Federal Premium Tactical 62 grain boat tail soft point, designed for self-defense and tactical applications. This round offers deep penetration, reliable expansion, making it a strong contender for home defense and defense scenarios. It performs well in AR-15s and is engineered for consistent function under stress. All right, so back to the beginning here. Self-defense, I don't know. That sucker holds together. It penetrated a lot at 200 yards in the ballistics jaw we did. Not for self-defense in your house, not really. If you don't care if it's going to blow, it did expand. I mean, it's going to wreck some stuff. Not big expansion like a ballistic tip, but it opened up and to be fair, it wasn't. I think it was like 2600 or I had it reloaded too, so not real fast. You can reload them hotter than that, and it'll open up more. So inside of 200, it would be pretty good. I would take this bullet anytime over the full metal jackets we talked about. Deep penetration, yeah, like I said, it does penetrate. Reliable expansion, yeah, 200 expanded, not like I would want it to with more velocity, but I think the FBI and stuff uses this round. So I mean, and they're talking like they figuring like inside of 150 yards. It would definitely be good for that. This would not be one of my top 5 all around best rounds. So it performs well in AR-15s. Yeah, I mean anything freaking pretty much performs good in ARs. So yeah, that's a decent. That's better than the FMJs, but not one of my top 5s. That's all right. Here we got Josh. What's up, Josh? Late to the party. Had to jump to YouTube. Comments on Facebook weren't coming through the stream. All right. Sorry about that, Josh. Like I just went cold. I didn't even run a because I was familiar with this platforms I'm using. I didn't even run a test run on it. I just went dry on it. I wonder why. Well, maybe. I mean, is it even on Facebook? Let me check if I got sniped for something. You never fricking know, right? What happens? And Yeah. No, I'm still live there. Let me see if the comments are coming. Yeah, the comments are coming through on Facebook. Let me all right, let me check on here. All right. I don't know why they're not coming through on here, but I'll read some of them. Dan Brown's watching. Brian, Jolene. Hey, Jolene, how you doing? I'm gonna read some. Good afternoon, Dan. Sorry I didn't get your these comments weren't coming through. I appreciate you watching on here, buddy. They did come through right away. I thought, no, maybe they didn't. I don't know what the heck's going on with that. I'll check into it. This is my first driver, and I apologize if the comments. I'll come back and check. Josh says, say a video of Democrats. What to make is a $7,009 tax stamp on suppressors. Yeah, I've seen it up to 4,000. He's referencing what I was talking about Virginia there. Yeah, there was a one there that yeah, there was 4,000 something I seen. My Aunt Joan, how you doing, Aunt Joan? Thank you for jumping on. AI isn't all it's cracked up to be. You'll win, hands down. All right, I'm giving myself. I'm definitely kicking AI's ass here. Corey Merriman, yep, you're on. All right, hey Corey, how's it going, buddy? Appreciate you getting on Facebook. I got, like I said, for whatever reason, I got more people watching on my Facebook. I'm just gonna leave it on here. If the comments come through, I don't know why they're not coming through now. I'll check into it. I'm not as versed on fixing problems on here on Restream as Clayton was. So, anyways, let's hit the last one here. Remington UMC 223 55 grain FMJ. This stuff does shoot pretty good too. This stuff it shoots pretty good. But again, top fives FM for I would put an FMJ in my top five. That goes for any round, really. All around top, no way. A budget friendly option. They are affordable for sure. I deliver solid performance for bulk training and practice. I'd agree with that on steel and just getting familiar with your firearm. This round is often used in high volume shooting sessions due to its low cost, consistent feeding. I mean, all these FMJs, like I said, they all feed modern AR-15s, even the junk ones. Man, they pretty much run like sewing machines unless some dipshit doesn't know what they did. If then I made this one for you. I've built plenty of ARs and they all run great. Well, are you saying you're not a dipshit? I'm not a dipshit enough. I can make guns run good. It's also considered a viable option for home defense due to no, it's not. You're gonna if that's all you got, sure, but you're gonna blow through. I guarantee you're blowing through people with FMJs in your house for home. No, dude. Like I said, especially in a city, if you're out in the country, and you ain't got to worry, and you don't care about blowing holes in your wall and shit. If you put a freedom seat through somebody, go for it. But that's not what I'm doing. I don't care if I live in the middle of the freaking Badlands. No, I'm not shooting FMJs for home defense. To, they say good viable home defense due to its high velocity and tendency to fragment upon impact. No, that's complete AI bullshit right there. What's up, Jay Diggity's watching me on Facebook. Like I said again, if you just jumped on, my Facebook comments aren't coming through on Restream right now. I don't know why. Just my YouTube ones are. But I got my YouTube on. I'm watching it, so I'll get you comments if you comment on Facebook, and I appreciate all I love the comments, man. It's makes doing these shows so much easier. And people, I don't think I know everything. When you guys add something into the conversation, that's all the better, man. I'm here to talk about a few things I know about and talk about guns and everything else, Second Amendment. And if you guys add something, there's people that know a lot more about certain things than I do, and I appreciate all the input. Yeah, so AI finishes this up right. These rounds represent a balanced selection of shooters seeking versatility across multiple use cases from training and plinking to defense and hunting applications. Asterisk, AI generated answers. Please verify critical facts. I just did AI. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead do this JD versus AI series. I'm going to give myself the W on this one. Easy W. This is a football game. I'm going to say it was like 30-10, man. I kicked their rear end. I kicked AI's rear end on this one. Please don't send a Terminator to blow something through my window. I would appreciate that. You're not doing that, AI. We can work together on this. I mean, I think I did I'll just tell you, I'm not going to go through a whole top five thing but my top all around 223 round was a 55 grain soft point. That was my all around. Are there better options? Like at SHOT Show, I seen some bullets coming out that look pretty freaking amazing, but I still don't know if they're going to beat that 55 grain soft point for all around self defense. I mean, Axe and I have done gel tests, and I've actually shot at I don't know what we were at, 15 yards. I shot through a water jug, through denim, and into the gel block. It still went in 10.5 inches and expanded perfectly. The 55 grain soft one. I can't remember if that was a Fiachi or a Hornady, but whatever it was, it expanded awesome. And I mean that would be a great all around self defense hunting, varmint round. It's perfect for that one. That's what I would use. Maybe someday down the road we can go through some more, but I'm not going to do it right now. All right, let's get to it. Happy ending. We got two things left, and I know some people are itching. We're going to do the happy ending hootenanny here, and then we're going to talk about a little bit about Minneapolis here, right? And I'm pretty sure I'm going to remain relatively calm, but it does piss me off. There's some things about that piss me off, and not on ICE's side. So hang in there. We're going to get to that. First thing, like Brian said, a hootenanny. What'd you say up here earlier, Brian, when I said a hootenanny was? It was one step above a hoedown. That's right. That's right. All right. So this happy ending hootenanny, we had a home invasion in Buckeye, Arizona. Here's the deets. The hootenanny occurred just before 9 p.m. January 18, 2026 on Desert Bloom Street. Buckeye police responded to a report of shots fired and arrived to find a man inside the residence suffering from multiple freedom seed wounds. Despite efforts by emergency medical crews, the turd nugget was pronounced dead at the scene. Well, the hootenanny's kicking off right there, man. When he put the freedom seeds through this invader, and then he was pronounced dead. I mean, that's a full-on hootenanny. According to investigators, the home was occupied by a mother and her two adult children. Getting better, man. 2 kids, a mother in there, right? She didn't send the freedom seeds. We're getting to that. This scumbag kicks the door in, comes in. I mean, just think of your wife and your kids or your sister or your mom or whatever in there, right? It's I love this guy. That's why it's a hootenanny. Hootenanny is a big party, man. I love it. The family was inside when they heard someone banging on the door. One of the women opened the door and was immediately confronted by a scumbag who began forcing his way into the home. A male resident quickly retrieved a hand cannon and arrived at the entrance just as the intruder broke through the security door and crossed the threshold. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he even got to really worry about the threshold in Arizona, but all right, whatever. At that point, the resident fired multiple freedom seeds, striking a piece of shit. Authorities, that's right. If you listen to my show, you're going to hear some swearing. It's just the way it is, man. It's just the way it is. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and F-bomb everything, but you'll get those now and then too. Authorities report there is no known connection between the family and the intruder, who is described as a complete frickin' loser in his late 20s. His identity has not yet been released, pending next notification of next of kin. So, loser breaks in, women and children in the house, had a alpha male in there, got his handgun out, planted some freedom seeds in this shithead who broke in. To me, that is one hell of a hootenanny right there. I'll tell you what. I love that. I love that. Oh, Second Amendment. And we're going to talk some Second Amendment a little bit more coming up here. Right now, we got, what are we in here? 38 minutes, 52 seconds. I can't tell everybody watching on all the platforms, but I can see it right now. But this is my first one coming back. And as far as before we get into this Minnesota thing, I don't know what day I'm doing this on. I just Saturday looked good. I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe you guys, what you guys prefer? I got Tuesdays, I got Thursdays. I mean, when football starts, I mean, I know a lot of my people watch football, but Thursday night football, I don't know, whatever. If you miss it, I guess you can watch it again or go back. And Tuesdays, well, I'm done with Tuesdays. It's definitely not going to be on the weekends like this a lot. Hey, Eric, good to have you back. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I really appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. Like I said, I'm not live on X. I'm supposed to get some kind of super duper subscription. And if this keeps, as far as, well, how come we don't get any sponsors? I do have some that want to, but I left Guns in the 701, right? And they're like, well, you had a lot of subscribers there. And how's this going to work out for you starting cold? Well, all right. So I guess I'm going to have to come on here and prove my worth. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. It depends on how many people watch it and like it and share it. And like I said, I don't have I'll try and get up the podcast up in the next day or two. I have to do this embedded stream stuff. And like I said before, Clay was high-tech redneck for us, as he called himself, doing all this. So a few things I got to figure out. I'm definitely a low-tech dude, but so it takes me a little while longer to figure stuff like this out. And my wife will help me on some things, but she hates because I get pissed off sometimes and unnecessarily will holler at her for helping me when I get impatient with shit. And it's when I don't. Patience isn't a virtue of mine, unfortunately, but I'll get that figured out, and I'm going to get the code up here for people. What I would really like to do is to get enough income to do this and pay my bills and make myself a little side cash and give you guys information, have a good show, and do all this stuff, and not have to answer to a bunch of sponsors. I love having real world sponsors, but if I can do it, without depending completely on them to do it, it's good, because I'm going to say some shit that's good, that's going to piss off some people, and then some sponsors are going to cringe. Like I went with 701 Nation. What the real thing I really wanted to go with was 701 Militia, and yeah, my buddy MVE Brian and his wife, we kind of had a texting thing going. And most people want me to do that, but man, if you run that by some people, militia's not a bad word. The left has made militia a bad word. I'm still going to make some 701 militia gear, whether I do this or not. And if you guys are in on it, man, I'm going to be having it made at HH Apparel. Good people over there, one of the sponsors of the Coyote Challenge we had. I'm wearing my 701 Nation hat right now, but I'm looking how I'm going to make some coins on this. It might take me a little while, like I said, to prove what I'm going to do and prove I can bring people in and viewers, and we'll see. The videos are the big thing, man. I'm going to next weekend, if it's nice, I will be going back to the ranch, not just to do that, but to see my dad. As a lot of people know, he's got cancer. Hang out with my dad and do some stuff there. And I'm going to do I got reloads. I got my 6.5 Creed. I'm going to do a range video on that with some Freedom Seeds 120 gold dot. 120 gold dots on that. I'll give you the velocity and accuracy, and we'll do some long range stuff. Should be fun. I'm looking forward to that. I love doing stuff like that. Videos really bring in a lot of people to platforms like mine. If anybody saw the Coyote Rifle Steel Challenge from last weekend, man, I picked up on my YouTube channel, which I haven't. I just kind of started doing stuff in there not too long ago, but I picked up like almost 30 not sponsors, what's the word I'm looking for, 30 subscriptions on there from that video alone. And and it's viewed, I think it's like 2,500 times last I looked. It's kicking ass. I love it. And I posted on Guns in the 701 as well. It's over 1,000 on there. Dads are awesome. One Shot Cap says, that's right. That's right there. I always have your dad in my prayers, buddy. Thank you. Thanks, Clayton. Guns in the 701's watching. Clay met my dad, and Clay bought my dad. What do you want to say? I don't even know what you can say. Side iron. How's that? A concealable side iron, which my dad really loves. Appreciate that, Clayton. Appreciate you watching too. Anyway, yeah, the videos bring in a lot of stuff, and love doing those videos. And I'm not doing this in like competition. Obviously, Clay's on here. We figured everything out more than amicably, man. Clay and I are still friends. Everybody on Guns in the 7 was. I'm wearing my. I'm a pimp. I'm a Guns in the 701 pimp yet, even though I'm doing this, man. It's just, hey, it's the way it is, man. And in fact, Clay and I talked. I might come back on as a guest. He's, in fact, next Wednesday, right, Clay? You're having on Michael Bell from Dakota Mornings, which is going to be a good show. I'll be watching that, listening to that. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get in. 44. I'm going to try and keep this at an hour for sure. Hour, a little bit more. But depending on if we're getting a bunch of comments on this thing in Minnesota, we'll. I got one more thing to ask you guys here. Let me do this. So you see my little logo up there in the corner. I don't know if I'm going to go with that, or let me see. Here's what I got behind there. What you guys are looking at? Tell me, what do you got? What do you guys think of this deal right here? This is what's behind there. I know you can't see. I got one without the rifle on there. I'm an '80s kid. I kind of like that Tron looking shit on there, sci-fi stuff, aliens looking thing there. I don't know if that I like that one, but I understand if the other one's the the more favorable one up here in the corner. I got multiple colors on that. I just did it with AI, but if I have it done, I'm gonna have it more high res, which I put last night. And my buddy Tim Billman said, "What are you smoking ganja on the reservation now?" When I said high res. That's right, Clayton. We are good friends, buddy. I don't know. Can I show this? Let me see if I can do that on here. Yeah, there we go. Absolutely. I forgot about that. And yeah, a lot of stuff. In fact, like I said, I'm using this platform. Most of the stuff on here, Clay showed me how to do this shit, man, and I appreciate that. It's awesome. Anyway, let's get in. So Minnesota, and yeah, so I'm not getting any more comments on Facebook. I don't know. I'll try and figure out why the comments aren't coming through on Facebook. I can see them on my phone. Corey, here I got a comment just came through. Corey Merriman, they're all idiots over there in Minneapolis. Yeah, I'm gonna put that up there so I can see it better like this. How's that? There. Yeah, they are, Corey. Well, most of them, not all of them, probably, but good majority of them. Yeah. So if you didn't know, dude, and I'm going to go with Homeland Security's one statement from the Department of Homeland Security. Says armed, and I'm going to have my own thing in here, unhinged, violent leftist man who was shot in Minneapolis wanted to, quote, massacre law enforcement. That's what Homeland Security says. DHS said the armed man approached U.S. Border Patrol with a 9mm automatic handgun. Yeah, he did that, and I think he had his phone out too, or a camera or something too. I'll finish reading the short statement and we'll get into this a little more. The officer attempted to disarm the suspect officers, but the suspect violently resisted. If you watch the video, yeah, this guy is going ape shit. There's 4 or 5 of these guys trying to hold this dude down, and yeah, more details on the armed struggle are forthcoming. I think Kenny Lanou, my buddy Kenny down there in Fargo, posted something. One of the protesters around started storming them, and I can't confirm this, but apparently bit the freaking finger off of one of the ICE guys there. I mean, unbelievable. Fearing for his life and the lives and safety of fellow officers, an agent fired defensive shots. Medics on scene immediately delivered medical aid to the subject, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect also had 2 magazines and no ID. And by magazines, you're not talking about Playboys, magazines for his gun. It looked like kind of a Kimber-looking 1911 9mm and no ID on him. So this looks like a situation where an individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement. Minneapolis police chief identified the deceased man as a 37-year-old white dude who was mentally unstable and violent. Again, I added that in there because that's true, and was a Minneapolis resident. So, yeah. Get to a few of your comments here, and then I'll bring up a few things here. Shit, AI just got another point for making your logos. Yeah, they did, Brian. Now they're up to 11 points, right? One Shot Cap says, I heard he was just done eating a donut, LOL. So, the leftists are always bitching about our Second Amendment rights. Correct? I just read the story earlier about Virginia, all the shit they want to ban. But now you see these, and I say unhinged because they're coming out. They want you to attack these law enforcement officers doing their job, ICE agents doing their job that, as a matter of fact, Democrats voted for in the past to enforce these, to codify these laws about illegal immigration, legal immigrants, legal aliens, and they're trying to protect them. Now they're calling them Nazis and all this bullshit coming out. And now they're saying, get your guns ready, get your guns. And you got a few of these soy boys over there with their, I think that one, the big fat dude, looked like freaking Rob Porthole really holding the gun up there in Minneapolis. I mean, until these ICE guys would show up, he'd probably take off running. It looked like a freaking airsoft gun, but this guy showed up, 9mm, couple extra mags in there. Well, he had him down and they shot him. Yeah, if you watch the video, this guy's, like I said, he's going freaking berserk. I, there's no close video. It looks like he probably pulled his goddamn handgun out, and the ICE guy just started putting freedom seeds through him. So, whoa, why'd they have to do that? He was down. If you pull a gun out and start sending bullets around, you don't know what it's like. He's supposed to get shot. Well, you might have just hit him in the leg, JD. You didn't have to kill him. Bullshit. Bullshit. No, the guy pulled a freaking gun out. I mean, that's all. Okay, I'm not saying that's 100%, but that's preliminary right now. You pull a gun. Listen, I'll give you guys a couple stories. Let me read a couple of these comments first. Brian Warner says the lib networks keep saying he is legally permitted to carry concealed. That legal only matters until you start to do illegal shit. Right, Brian? I don't give a shit if he's good. Good on you if you got a concealed weapons permit. But when you jerk your freaking side iron and at law enforcement or another civilian, your concealed weapons permit doesn't mean shit, right? I don't give a shit. What is that supposed to mean? Oh, they shot a concealed weapons permit holder. Who cares? He pulled his freaking gun on him. Big deal. If I was laying down and the cops were trying to cuff me, I think the guy actually, I'm not saying this is 100% true either, but I think he was like shoving some gal around or something before this too. Maybe you guys know and I don't. But if I was down there and let's say I was carrying my pistol, I got my pistol right here, right? Trust me. And I was like, I'm going to pull my gun out. I would fully expect to get my ass shot if I was going to do that to law enforcement. 100%. 100% I would. Guns in the 701 says, yep, next week on GAT 701, I'm having Michael Bell on. And the following week, I'm talking NRA with NRA field rep Nate Brown and possibly one other guest. Stay tuned. Awesome. Awesome. I know Clay's had on the NRA guy before, too. It was good. That was a great show, man. They had a lot of views, actually, on Guns in the 701's page for that. So, but I was telling you, I'll tell you guys a couple stories about this is how I would react when I get, violent or confrontational shit with law enforcement. Number one, and I think I might have told this story once on Guns in the 701, and Clay and I are on. This is when I was a senior. I think I was a senior in high school. We were down south of Bismarck going to a big party. And I had a Toyota, I don't know, Corolla, like a early 80s one or something. Driving down, if you ever been down there, like, non-maintained roads, bubbles come on. We had a bunch of beer in the car, right? We were drinking, me and some of my buddies, Jody Beckel, and I can't remember that. I think it was Craig Jones. Jody's passed away by now. Rest in peace, Jodis. Them both convinced me to try to outrun them, right? So what do? I'm going to outrun the law enforcement with my freaking Toyota Corolla against their like 88 Chevy Blazer. I put it in reverse, punch it through the freaking trees. Thank God I never hit nothing. Finally, I was just like, I'm not outrunning these guys. This is dumb. We stop. Law enforcement jump out, both of them draw their handguns or side irons, screaming at us, get out of the vehicle, hands up, which we did. Hands up. I was scared shitless. I thought, I'm not making the wrong move or I'm going to get shot. You know why we didn't get shot? I didn't get shot. Jody didn't get shot. Craig didn't get shot. You know why we didn't get shot? Because we didn't fricking try to confront these guys and scream and holler at them and throw fricking dirt clumps at them or a fucking beer bottle or some stupid shit. Right? Right? That's why we didn't get shot. That's example number fricking one right there. Right there. Number two. Again, I was a senior at a party down River Road. I can't remember whose place it was. Big party. Some guy lipped off to the sheriff's department. The sheriff got there. Him and I had the same cap and shirt. A bunch of us ran into this huge cornfield, right? Stopped. My buddy Bill and I standing there looking. I didn't know there was three sheriffs. We didn't know they were sneaking up because they thought I was the dude. We were skylining ourselves. Full moon. They pop out of the corn. Take me down like hard, man. I know I'm an 18-year-old. I think I weighed 160 pounds and I was a senior, 165. Nothing. These are, 20, 30-year-old sheriff's deputies, big dudes. Took me down, ripped the shit out of my shirt, roughed me up. Finally got back. Luckily, another gal was at the party. He's like, that's not I think it was Jeff Holly they were looking for. Sorry, Jeff, if you see this. They let me go, right? But you know what I didn't do when they took me down? I didn't start freaking fighting these guys and going nuts like this dude in Minneapolis did. And I think I had a pocket knife. I didn't pull that out. If I did, you know what? I fully expected my ass to get fucking shot. But I didn't, because I didn't sit there and do what these dumb bastards do and then blame the freaking cop when you pull out a freaking deadly weapon and resist them. Literally, they thought I was somebody else and did their job. When they found out, they actually apologized to me. My shirt was wrecked, and then everybody left the party. Luckily, Marty Beard was there, gave me a ride, took me out for dinner to Kroll's, and crazy enough, these guys said something not very nice to Marty Beard's wife, and Marty jumped in the window and pounded the face in one of them. Not a guy to mess with. So anyways, yeah, I could have resisted and got my ass shot, but I didn't. I mean, when it's over, it's over. Quit freaking resisting. That's because you were white. No, it's because I didn't fucking resist anymore when they had me, man. And I wasn't really resisting to begin with. I tried to run and they caught me. But anyway, guns in the 701. See here. Funny how liberals seem to know now will be pro 2A in Minnesota. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like I said, they think you take up your arms and it's Second Amendment, man. Is it really? But so I guarantee you this: the ones who say they're pro Second Amendment voted for frickin' Walz and Tina Smith and all these other unhinged frickin' anti-Second Amendment freaks in Minnesota, and now they're talking about Second Amendment rights. Bullshit. You guys vote for people to take them away, and all of a sudden you want them because you're the resistance, man. We're protecting the brown people and the other illegals, just like they did in Europe against the Nazis. Yeah, we're freedom fighters. No, you're not. You're unhinged anti-law enforcement freaking scumbags. That's what you are. You people are unhinged. You're dangerous lack of common sense. You don't live in a world of freaking reality. That ain't all freaking, there's liberals and there's leftists, and the people who are like getting nuts like this are freaking leftists, man. I mean, yeah, the revolution, dude. And no, you people you don't live in a real world. Guns in the 701 says, hey, Dan, good show with Leon, by the way. Yeah, watched that last night. Good show. Enjoyed the heck out of it. Clay says, yep, Jamie, we will chat soon. Can definitely join us on Wednesday. Yeah, hey, if you want me on Wednesday, Clay, yeah, let me know, buddy. And if you and Michael want to do one and you and I can schedule another, I'm totally cool with that. So whatever we can do. But yeah, if you guys got anything else to add, this Minnesota thing, I mean, more stuff's going to come out. Josh says, I thought the National Guard was brought in to end the protest or stop them from moving in on ICE. Yeah. Man, I don't know that they're in the city, right? And furthermore, there's other cities, big blue cities, New Orleans, right? And all these other freaking buttons. I just read button. One shot cap cut. Hit the like button for JD. Absolutely. If you appreciate that, if you guys hit the like button for my live stream, do that. I would appreciate that. That helped. I mean, that helps with putting it in the talking about AI, man. It helps AI get your show out there, and that's what happened with like I said, with the Coyote Steel Challenge video, man. It took off when everybody started. Let me get a comment here on Mama Joe Warner here, Jolie Warner. Let me see more. There's a huge problem with respecting authority. Fuck around, and he found out he was resisting arrest. Sympathy is right between shit and civilness. Sorry. Not sorry. Right, because these people that are doing this, I respect law enforcement. I mean, was I a bootlicker? No, wasn't a bootlicker then. I'm not a bootlicker now. But I respected authority. These people don't, because there's never been consequences for them starting with their parents when they throw, I ain't eating this shit, and throwing it in their kitchen or whatever. I need this, and their parents bought them everything. That's how they got like this. There's a whole freaking city full of these people, man. Hey, Shana, how you doing? Appreciate you checking in. There's a whole city full of these kind of people, and that's who's there doing it now. And a bunch of them are freaking, like I said, a bunch of them are violent leftist people, right? They've never had their freaking dick knocked in the dirt or slapped or punched or knocked out or had their ass handed to them, put in a reverse naked. None of that shit, right? And now that it happens, they think it's freaking Nazism. It's, God, they're just so freaking, and I'm not saying some of these people are complete idiots, but a lot of them, most of them, probably high intellectual people, but they're just, like I said, no common sense or reality. Let me get to another comment here. Corey says, funny how all these libs are protesting for their neighbors, but I don't see any of the immigrants out there with these lib nerds. Yeah, You're right, most of them are freaking dipshit white people, right? I think white leftists are probably the worst freaking people, you know. Um, they're the worst freaking people in the country, really. I'm not even kidding when I say that. And as far as these illegal, well, they said they'd go after the worst of the worst. There's a website called the Worst of the Worst. Homeland Security puts out, I think. I've shared it before. They put the arrest records and photos of these people and they arrest them. In Minneapolis, like 7,000 child molesters, murderers. And this is who these people are protecting. It is unfreaking believable. What about the ones who aren't criminals? They came here legally. You're a damn criminal, okay? And they alter the truth. They use the 5-year-old kid as bait. The kid's father took off running. They offered to give the little 5-year-old kid, a little cute little 5-year-old kid with a skiing hat on, had the same kind of hat I had on at the Steel Challenge. The mom wouldn't take him back in the house, man. And they put this picture up with the ICE guy standing next to him. They took the little kid out, bought a McDonald's, treated him good. And they're trying to make these guys, they use them for bait. And these ICE people are trash. They're so dishonest about this shit. And I don't know that this is ever going to come back together. How do we come together with people you can't even have Thanksgiving dinner with, man? They won't tell the truth. Are we always honest on our side? No, but the fact checks out that the vast majority of the time we're telling the truth far more than these people are on the left. All right, let me get to some more comments here. I'm gonna say that I want to hit that like button for JD. That's right, One Shot Cap. I appreciate that. Clayton says, I put a short up on the channel, 62 GMC cold start at -20. Yeah, I've seen that, Clay. Clay's over 1,000 views on that already. You had to have picked up some subs on that too. Cool video. Clay's got his old truck there, comparing it to the new one, how that one didn't start with a key fob and shit. Yeah, good video. Dan Hager TV, it's like these liberal women are possessed. Yeah. I'm saying that, man. The leftist white chicks are completely unhinged. Man, I don't know what is going on there with them, but I mean, we do have some great Republican and conservative white chicks on our side too. Don't get me wrong there, but yeah. Brian Warner, uneducated can be taught. Stupid is always stupid. This crowd is stupid. As usual, Brian, you're speaking the truth, my fellow MBE brother. One Shot Cap, you can't fix. Yes, you can't fix stupid. You can't. I mean, if you don't have common sense of reality, they're just wired wrong, man. There is no freaking doubt about it. A lot of these people, you can just see it in their freaking eyeballs that they're not right. Like I said, I don't know how we're ever going to come together with these people, and we're not. We're not, man. And I mean, because they just can't see freaking reality. Even if you put, so like, I seen a picture. They said the guy's gun, right? This guy in Minneapolis. This is his gun. I told you it looked like a Kimber or something like that. You know what they're gonna say? Oh, that's bullshit. They just put that's bullshit. They put that up. So I mean, even if you tell them reality, they don't believe it. So if you're not gonna believe it, there is definitely no reconciliation, right? It's kind of like MTG at one point when she was still on the Trump train before she went black pilled, freaking mouth drooling conspiracy cultist. She said it's time for national divorce. And not that I'm saying there ain't conspiracies aren't real, some are, but to these guys and the black pilled folks, everything's a conspiracy. But yeah, she said it's time for national divorce. I mean, it sounds like an unreasonable option, but what else are we going to do with these people, right? There's going to be, or we're going to have a civil war. Well, Eric Glauser says, isn't it funny how the left loves their big government until big government is at the front door? 100%, Eric. And I've thought the same shit, right? They freaking loved it when Joe Biden was in there and he came on social media and we on the right would say the wrong word. And Biden had instructed social media to suspend their account, put them in Facebook jail, all that bullshit. They freaking loved it, right? They freaking loved it. I don't advocate for these shitheads to get kicked off of social media. I don't even advocate for them to, some of them shouldn't have guns. I'll say that. But the Trump administration is the most free and an open, I don't know, what do you want to call it? Open book government we've had. And they just, oh my God, I guarantee if a leftist hears that their head's going to blow. They're not going to win. Some people on the right, don't believe that shit. It is, man. It is. I haven't worried about my rights one damn time since Trump's been president. In fact, they've been fucking expanded. So, Guns in the 701 says, everyone, keep your eyes on Congress. Proposed new assault weapons banned by commie-crats. That is worse than the 94 law. No movement on it, but be aware, midterms are pivotal this year. Yeah. And I think Clay talked about that on Todd's show Friday. You can go check. Clay's got it up on all the Guns in the 701 social medias. You can listen to that. And I'm sure he's got it up on the podcasting. He talked about that. Right. You can't turn a blind eye to that. You got to keep your eye on that shit. These midterms are freaking pivotal. I can't say the word pivotal. I said that at the beginning of the show. If you missed it, Trump's going to start campaigning next week in Iowa. He said like he's running for president because our side and even the Democrats do it. I mean, and usually they're frothing at the mouth, rabied up voters, man. But if you don't have the House and the Senate, if you liked how it was under Joe Biden, that's what we're going to go back to. They're going to make Trump a lame duck. And all the stuff he's expanded, the big, beautiful bill and these funding bills and the Border Patrol, that's gone, man. That's gone. Or he didn't do nothing. He has done so much shit. When you're one of these, he didn't do nothing people, you need to get your head out of your ass, literally. And some of my friends think that, whatever. I'm talking to you too, not to be derogatory to you. But your head's in your ass. If you think the guy has done so much for this country, it's unfreaking believable, man. Right. And I see some guys I follow on social media. They're even some of them starting to waver a little bit. And yeah, damn, Bongino's a sellout and all bullshit. Hey, Todd, what's up, Todd Creswell? Corruption creates chaos. Exactly. And that's what's going on. And chaos is what they want in Minneapolis, man. That's feeding what their agenda is. They love that shit. They love the chaos over there, right? And on top of that, people who don't pay attention to politics that close, some of them, I mean, maybe ICE is going over the line. They're not. What do you want ICE to do when they get attacked and somebody jerks a pistol on them? What do you want them to do when they're getting spit on, when they're getting snowballs thrown at them, when people are trying to drive their goddamn vehicles into them and they get hit? Well, if you got hit, you jumped out of the way and just shoot the tires out. That ain't how it works in the freaking real world, my friends. It's not how it freaking works. 701 Overland, corruption. Yeah. All right. Yep. Thank you. Thank you, sir. That's my boy Todd again. He's on. Yeah. Cause it's not coming through on Facebook for whatever reason to come. Like I said, I'll check into it. Anyways, I don't know what's going to happen here with this. I think honestly, I really wish we wouldn't have to do this insurrection act. I don't know what you guys think. Man, that's just not going to be a good look. But I think most people who voted for Trump want to see they want to see this stuff put down. They're not going to say nothing. No, people aren't going to say nothing. I mean, and the left's getting more violent and vile and attacking people. Most people don't say shit, right? I mean, I go on and say stuff, and I purposely don't put pictures of my kids up or my wife, because if anybody knows, long ago, that's why I changed my name so many times and had to cancel shit, because they tried to get my wife fired. And I mean, they say shit about your kids, and I've had death threats too. And Scott Bachmeyer can attest that. Clay, when he was at the NRA. These people are fucking nuts, man. And if they're willing to pull a gun on armed law enforcement officers enforcing the law, they're more than happy to do it to you, right? They're freaking crazy. I'm going to get a few more of these comments. Guns in the 701. If you enjoyed the zeroed out NFA tax stamp, thank GOP, Congress, and President Trump. 100% Guns in the 701. You're right on the money. That would never, ever come up with a Democrat president, House, and Senate. Never. They would. No, they want to jack it up. I said that. Democrats in the House wanted to put it to $4,000 We adjusted it for inflation since the 30s, and now it's $4,000 is what you should be paying, because they think the only people who use suppressors are assassins and freaking poachers. They're idiots. They don't live in the real world. Brian Warner, not only midterms, but also Minneapolis has taught us how important our local elections are. A sheriff and a mayor are beyond important to them now. Right on, Brian. The Hennepin County Sheriff's Department ain't doing shit, and the local law enforcement, the main guy, the police chief, big burly son of a bitch. I mean, if you see him, he didn't open his mouth, you'd think he was a big alpha male. And he's sitting there, letting Jacob Fry, that little 140-pound punk, freaking bitch slap him, for a better term, right? He doesn't say nothing to the guy, little punk Jacob Fry. He just sits. I mean, he opened his eyelids that one time when he said, Mayor Fry said people should get in the streets and law enforcement and fight ICE. I mean, God, these people, they're not doing anything wrong. They're enforcing freaking laws is what they're doing. Without laws, we don't have a country. I mean, yeah, that's why America is great. We actually have decent laws compared to the rest of the world. Are all laws good? No, I mean, probably not all of them, right? But we got to follow laws, or you have a society of freaking chaos, like 701 Overland said before. They love the chaos. Guns and stuff. Also, suppressor delisting bill in South Dakota passed the Senate. Stay tuned. Awesome. I love that shit. It should be delisted. And SBRs, but right, like that's what's going to happen. Like people complaining, oh, you just got the tax stamp off, you still got to do the fingerprints. Yeah, you do, but there's court cases in there, and guess what? The longer Trump holds the Senate, the more his judges get confirmed. And when Republican judges get confirmed, guess what happens? Pro Second Amendment challenges to anti-Second Amendment laws, they get passed because you have real constitutionalist judges in there, right? You think a Biden judge is going to vote in favor of your Second Amendment rights and delisting suppressors? No, they are not. Well, it's just guns, JD. That's all you fucking care about. Well, guess what? Guns equal freedom, man. And if you're against guns, majority of the time, you're against freedom. Same goes with the First Amendment. Hate crime laws, you know what? Hate crime, that's bullshit. It is bullshit. But Kamala Harris was talking about freaking hate crimes. If they get all their judges in and they get the House and they get the Senate and some other nutcase like freaking Gavin Newsom's president, they'll pass it. They'll pass it. You know, and if I say F you to somebody who's just whatever, oh, that's a non-POC. That's a POC. You said F you. That's a hate crime. No, it's not. No, it's not. I mean, that's what they want to do. They'll look at freaking England with their stupid laws. That's what happens when the freaking leftists get control. And as far as they don't like law enforcement, they love law enforcement when it's their cops. They hate the cops now who enforce real freaking laws that have been put in by over the time, you know, constitutionally codified laws, right? Is there too many laws? Absolutely, there's too many goddamn laws. But leftists love to do their own freaking. Like, you want to know what the leftist laws are? Look at France. Look at freaking England. Look at where's Conor McGregor from? You know, Ireland, shit like that. Go look at that. I mean, if you look into that shit is insane. There's no real freedom there, especially for people with common sense. They hate people with common sense, man. It's freaking crazy. It's crazy. And if you think you're not going to vote in the midterms for Republicans and you think Trump's not getting shit done, you're not wired right, man. You're not wired right in the head, I think. I'm not saying you're a leftist, but you ain't wired. All leftists are definitely going to vote against them. There's no doubt about that. One shot cap. Just watch CNN for 5 minutes. It'll make you puke. Absolutely. One shot. I went on their Facebook page for a while and go in the comments if you want to see some, I mean, insufferable freaking people commenting just complete bullshit. Go on there and read their comments. I can read about 5 of them. I literally got to get off of there. I mean, because you feel like, you know, you want to respond to them, but it's a waste of freaking time, really. I mean, just laugh at their comments or something, because I know it pisses them off when you do that. What's you laughing at? You know, just do that. You know, and then we got, you know, people are, I mean, there's tons of people like that. And say, go on, you see the Tribune, so you go on the Tribune comments, KFYR TV, go on their comments. Luckily, the people like on there, people just like pro-Trump stuff or pro-ICE stuff. And you look at the favorability in the comments on there, and likes and that compared to the comments. I mean, the leftists get ratioed on there hard, but not, you know, the comments, a lot of the comments on there are leftist. It responding to them is a waste of time. So anyways, hour 13. I'm gonna end the show unless you guys got anything else here. Appreciate everybody jumping on. Appreciate everybody hitting that like button. If you feel like sharing it, get it done. I guess I got to do the embedded code thing here tomorrow or Monday, and then I'll get the podcast up and that stuff. Like I said, I'm gonna get the scan code up. I'm gonna try and do it that way, mostly to fund what I'm doing. Hopefully that works. People can get on and do the subs and that. I mean, that'd be nice. It'd be nice. The more you can get yourself funded, the more freedom you got. Saying stuff like I do want sponsors. I love having sponsors, and if that comes through for me, great. If not, well, I'm gonna try the other way. And if that don't work, all right. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm gonna give this a go for about 3 months, and if shit ain't going my way, oh, you said you were going to hang it up after. Well, I did, but there's stuff that's in the works yet, man. Like I said in the beginning, people want me to prove my shit now because I was with a big business there. Clay and I started Guns in the 701. They got a shitload of followers. I think all across the social media platforms are over between 5,000 and 6,000, and I'm just here putting along right now. So once I get the followers going, a little more popularity, if that works for me, great, man. Josh P, great show. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate you tuning in, buddy. And hey, thanks for stopping out at Axis on the way back there from when we were doing the Coyote Steel. Have a great day with your dad, JD. Thank you, One Shot Cap. I will. Looks as of right now, the weather looks like it's going to cooperate for me, so that's awesome. I'm gonna end the show here like usual. I got AI 701 with a little or AI 2A with a little Second Amendment fire here. We'll end it. I'm not sure when I'm doing it next week. I'm working on that Tuesday or Thursday probably. So appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll see you, JD 701 Nation. Have a good one.
In stone, Second Amendment, we stand alone. Guns in our hands, freedom's call. Hunt the wild, never take the fall. Fire, lock and load, let them roar. Shoot them straight, Second Amendment score. Buckshot flying, deers in sight. Rock the range on the night. Yeah. Yeah. Rifle raised high, one clean shot, watch the trophy fly.